In the coming videos, we'll be working with Vuex and seeing how we can use this to control our data and manipulate the data we have in our project. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about it, other than what I'm telling you, of course, and I recommend you to do this, go to vuex.vuejs.org, so this URL up here, and just watch this first video. It's about 5 minutes of them explaining what Vuex is, and they do it in kind of an illustrative way, so it's at least you'll get the concept of what we're trying to do before we do it, of course. So I really urge you to go and watch this video here. And they go through some of the images here, like this one. They actually explain what the different things are here. So I'll just do this real quick as well. So data, this is our standard one, and this is how we would set it up in Vuex in the store, right? So we'll have data, which is basically the same as a state. So in here you will put all your arrays and things you want, the data you want to store. If you want to grab data from someone's store, you will put that in the state here, right? Then we have our our methods here. That's kind of these two put together. So mutation and actions, they work really well together. And if we do it correctly, we will use actions to call a mutation, and then the mutation to change the state inside the state, or the data inside the state, right? And getters are kind of equal to computed, so grabbing information, changing it, adding filters, and so on. But we'll do this in the following videos. And the reason we want to do this is right now everything we created in our project over here is kind of in fewer components. So for example, our admin here is let's go menu here. That's the one I wanted. So our menu here, we both have on the left side of our page, this thing is up here, we have our showing our menu items, our bagels, and in the right side we have our current basket. We could actually split this up, so we have a component to render this here and have it work by itself, and have a component over here for the basket. And if we're using Vue Store, it's just a lot easier to transfer data between these two than it would without Vuex, because if we look at this one here, this is kind of the thing. If we have this, so if this box here, let's say this is the one, this is our showing our bagels, and then we have our menu here, and then down here we have our basket, right? If we were to transfer data, we would have to take this one, and then we would have to emit data up to the parent, and then use the prop to send it down again, or we could use the event bus between. But if we have more than a few of these things that are controlling some of the same data, this could start getting cluttered real fast, and if you make an error, then everything could be corrupted and you don't have the correct data and so on. So with Vuex, you'll take the data from our menu item, for example, when you add to basket, and then we'll send it up to Vuex, store it up there, and then we'll tell the component, if we have more than one actually, to just grab that information using, for example, a getter, which we'll be using later on. So that's the reason we want to send everything up here, and what they call it, and what it actually is they call it a single source of truth. That means that all our data will be placed up here, so we won't have data here and data over here and data down here, and then trying to move it around. And so when we change it, maybe we don't update everything and so on, we'll get a cluster or something with an F, and then that's not good. So this is the reason we want to use Vue, and I'll start talking now, and in the next video we'll start using the Vuex.